Special greetings to all our viewers here on Caribbean American News Media Platform. Here's wishing you a beautiful evening to those of you who are celebrating your Easter holidays and all your religious festivals. Please remember that we got to ensure that we continue on the Jesus path, that we do not just entertain it for one day of the year or just a week. Let's continue to be Christians. Let's continue to make the difference in this world. Let us be the light of the world, all right? And so special greetings to all our viewers on the platform. Please share as you join us. Just bear with me here. Just share as much as you can to those of you who are viewing via our Facebook stream. Greetings to you. Let me just see how you're looking over there. Greetings. Please share the live, folks. Tag a friend and share the live. Let me just switch my thing here. The system is not up as yet, folks. The system should be on. We had a delay, and so it's going to be up in full swing very shortly. We do apologize. Facebook have also been having some issues lately, and if you cannot see the comments, you'll have to go out and come back in a second time in order for that to happen. But Facebook has been experiencing some major technical issues for the past month, and the algorithms and everything else is upside down. The message system is upside down. Everything on social media is upside down for now, but I'm sure that they will get the act together with all the new implementations of the AI, enhanced AI system, artificial intelligence, and everything else. Everything is kind of getting worse before it gets better. But greetings to all our viewers on the platform. As I said, those persons who are Catholics, they are not under the live. Some of them are in church. They are, in time of reflection, as they would say, fasting and everything else. So we do not expect them to be, here. They are observing their religious stuff. And for those of you who are here, we thank you for being here. I see Remy, I see Mesmin and Mary Charlemagne, Laurencia by Dudubeth, Mary, good to see you. Mariana, good to have you. Mora, greetings to you. Charles, greetings. Lynette Charles, greetings to you. Remy, good to see you. Zakafet. Yes, Zakafet, all our people. And I can only respond to those who are signing in. And to over on our YouTube channel, Clive over in Grenada, greetings to you. Good to have you, brother. And Sylvia, my friend Sylvia over there, greetings. And yes, Stanislas from Soufrière is on the platform. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings to you. Blessings to you and blessings to all. Beverly is just logging in. I'm just bidding time because I'm expecting something. Okay, just bear with me, folks.
Live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work. Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work. Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work. Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
Yeah,
Caribbean American
sorry, folks,
Media,
I do apologize for that. Something is coming for my daughter, so it's on my app, so I am just trying to ensure that it comes before we officially start the program. It's going to be here in the next 2 minutes. She wanted pizza, and so I placed the order very late. I placed the order late, and so she keeps calling me, is it ready? Is it ready, Daddy? So so I am just waiting my people for that before we could start the show. Gloriana over there on YouTube, greetings to you. Also, we have we gathering more equipment, more of the equipment that are needed for the stable stream. All right, so this thing is going to be coming in now, so just give me 1 minute, folks. 1 minute. All right, folks, that is set. So let us get to work. That is all set. Please share the live, friends. If you have not shared the live and you are on the platform, I want you to feel as guilty as you can. Please share the live, tag a friend, send it out to every corner that you can. Let the folks know that we're on tonight. We're not normally on. It's not our regular night, but we're here. And we're going to have some discussions that are necessary. Yes, necessary. And let me say it to you folks. We call ourselves a Christian nation. That is St. Lucia. And I spoke about tolerance, about, loving each other, about togetherness, about working together for the development of your nation. For the development of your nation. We've always been speaking about that. We've been speaking about honesty. We have been speaking about righteousness. We spoke a lot about righteousness. And our faith, I always say, will see us through. Whatever challenges a country faces, whatever challenges you face in your family, in your life, your faith will see you through. And you better believe it. You better get some faith, get some hope, and let that thing guide you through the darkness of this world, because I am saying to you, friends, the hearts of men has become very, very cold. The hearts of men, very, very cold, I find. And it is reflected, brothers and sisters, in the way our leaders deal with each other, the way our leaders talk to each other, the way our leaders communicate with each other. And we saw for the past 2 days a display of bitterness, of anger, of arrogance, of pompousness, of rudeness. We even saw miscalculation. Yes, we saw, brothers and sisters, this week alone. Instead of these guys, them fellas, spending a lot of time explaining their budget, their plans, instead of reporting to the citizens of the country, those fellas spend a lot of their time telling us about Chastney. And there were several missteps by them fellas in Parliament. And because the speaker is not too strong, he's not himself, or sharp enough, fast enough, they take him for granted. They took him for granted. Them fellas have no brought up see, and it's quite clear that our politicians are a reflection of the people. You are attracted to people who are like-minded. Believe it or not. Some of you are ferocious, so you're attracted to Roro. Some of you are hateful, so you're attracted to haters. Some of you are nasty, and then you're attracted to nastiness. And that's just how the world turns. But we got to take back the country as a Christian nation to where it ought to be, and let our faith see us through. And understand that we are all sons and daughters of the country. But what we saw in the House, amidst all the figures, we got more mépris than anything else. And them fellas are miscalculating. They do not realize that every time they go after the leader of the United Workers' Party, that they're affecting over 30-something thousand solutions. And they keep miscalculating over and over and over because somebody told them that their expenditure and their plans and the management of the country is enough to get them back into power. And there is no way that the United Workers' Party can win one seat. And that's the mentality that we see that is being displayed in the people's house. It is not them fellas' house in Grosile. It is the people's house. What I saw today and yesterday was a total disgrace and a total attack on the democracy of the nation. A total attack on the citizens, the people of the country. We should be talking about figures. We should be talking about the seriousness of making preparation for any crisis that is looming. And there are many crises that will be looming in the next few months, in the next few years. So instead of a government preparing for another pandemic, preparing for a major disaster, they are busy telling you about Chasney. As if none of us know about Chasney. As if none of us know about his flaws, his fault, his humanity. As if we don't know that he's a human being and that he gets angry at times, he gets frustrated at times, he eat, he drink, he sits behind vehicles, he gets tired, as if we don't know who he is. And that's not what the St. Lucian people log in to their government to hear. We log in to the platform so that we can get insights, so that we can be informed from the government of St. Lucia as to their stewardship. We did not log in to take mepui, because when you mepuize Mr. Chasney, you are giving us mepui. You are giving the people who voted for him mepui. You are giving his supporters mepui. And the sooner the government of St. Lucia realize that they are being distracted, then I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm just checking the monitor there. But friends, this is garbage. This is shit. And the sad thing about it is you see them fellas praying and doing sign of the cross. I see all of them fellas doing sign of cross and all kind of story. What kind of mockery is this, friends? And you will see them in church this weekend. And you will see them in front seat in church. You will see them sitting there. So here is a statement that let's just go into some of the events that captured our attention. One, and I'm not going to go into figures, that's not my field, but at the appropriate time, we're going to look at it still. That's not my strength. I am not an accountant. I mean, there are a lot of stuff that I should be able to figure out as I look at these documents. And by the way, these documents should be made readily available not only to the opposition leader and government ministers, but it should be given to the citizens of the country so that they can read for themselves and not you explaining nothing to them. Because I am sure figures don't lie unless you try to do whatever you do. Most crooks would know what to do. But here is a statement that I pulled out from Mr. Moses John Baptiste. Moses John Baptiste. I think he is the representative for Vieux-Fort North. Vieux-Fort North. And he's in what you would call a safe seat. Just or like Labrie, but how safe are these seats when the people decide to stand up? All right, how safe are those seats? So Mr. Moses John Baptiste of Vieux-Fort North made a flat attempt, a very careless attempt, to give a jab or to inflict a jab on the Honorable Alan Chastney today. And as I listen to Mr. Minister of Leaf Spot Disease, this is what, a matter of fact, Minister of Failed Agriculture. And this is what he said. Basically, Alan Chastney bulldozed or drove an excavator through a church, and Alan Chastney basically is Modi. That's why he has to sit behind a van in the hot sun. I am going to tell you the truth about this statement. Yes, Mr. Alan Chastney sat in the back of his vehicle that he paid for, and he has every right to sit on the roof, on the bumper, on the tire, anywhere he wants. That is his vehicle. Nobody else. I see some of you saying, Lucia, Black Sigatoga. Yeah, Minister of Black Sigatoga. If you are having problems on Facebook, you can go over to YouTube, friends. Anytime you're having problems on Facebook, switch over to Caribbean American News Network on YouTube. That's another option for you there. Just that there's a lot of ads going over there. I'll try to fix those ads. There are too many. So you can skip them. But if you're having problems on Facebook, just switch over to our YouTube channel. You can interact there also. So let's go back to what we're saying. All right. So Jean-Baptiste decided to join the Mongoose gang in an attempt to belittle and to shame Alan Chastney. But these fellas don't realize that Alan Chastney don't care anything about what they're saying. If you listen to him, he stays on the issue before him. And ever so often, he will give you a little jab. Especially if you jab him first, he will look for any opportunity and he will give you a jab. And most of the times when he gives the jab, the whole house mash up. Now, all of them fellas jumps on him and he sits there, watch them, whole set of noise in the house. By horse, like it's like a preschool. And once he says 1, 2, 3, all hell break loose in the preschool. So here we go. So let's go to the clip from Mr. Jean-Baptiste. Let's go to the clip. All right, Jean-Baptiste is going to take the pulpit. He's going to stand. He's going to give his speech. Let's listen to him. Hold a minute.
Expenditure as presented by the Minister for Finance, the Member of Parliament for Castries East, and Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I will spend some time on the agency which I was given responsibility for to indicate to you, Mr. Speaker, to indicate to you and honorable members what allocations have been made and to give you a very brief overview of our performance. Mr. Speaker, we do not have time today to go through everything in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, but Mr. Speaker.
So you listen to him, he don't have the time. Let me put my earphone on. Let me put my earpiece on. Bear with me, folks. Let me just get my earpiece plugged up. I'm a little lazy these days in having this thing on my ears. Sometimes I prefer to, let's just wire up ourselves. I didn't wire myself up tonight. But let's wire ourselves up so that we would not have the echo and everything else. All right? So I believe that we are wired and that we are ready to go. So let's have gentlemen speak.
Also, Mr. Speaker, I'm once again very privileged to be representing a dynamic rural constituency, a place of great value, a place of love, a place of excellence in all fields, Mr. Speaker, a place of passion called V4 North. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask you leave for just 30 seconds to recognize many community leaders and some people who are, Mr. Speaker. We are looking, Mr. Speaker, to relocate the Lakwa Wellness Center and also to rehabilitate or rebuild the Cicero Wellness Center, Mr. Speaker. Allocated an increase for the Millennium Heights Medical Complex to continue to facilitate its responsibility to ensure that even though we are at the stadium, the conditions there are improved. We started this project last year, Mr. Speaker, in 2022, and we have realized the following. We have removed the east and west wing canopies, Mr. Speaker. More remediation in the admin building. Refurbishment of the resuscitation bay in the emergency room. Refurbishing of the triage area. Refurbishing and reconstruction of the west wing security booth. Refurbishing of the outpatient department. Refurbishing of the microbiology and parasitology department in the lab. Refurbishing of the inventory warehouse. More remediation. Drainage works. The construction of a canopy for water diversion for the inventory containers. Increased storage for pharmacy, emergency room, lab, outpatient departments. Removal of the stadium chairs and metal frames in the stands. Removal of the purlines and the metal roofing, Mr. Speaker. We spoke about this in the last budget, and if you go to the stadium now, Mr. Speaker, everybody who passes there can see that we have reduced all of these disasters waiting to happen, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some additional funds are earmarked, and we are going to continue to do some work, rehabilitative work on the admin building, the solar water system, the washroom, showers, more remediation, a septic tank and sewer system. We need to reconstruct that, Mr. Speaker. The rehabilitation of the operating room and day surgery unit, plumbing system, and other rehabilitative works, Mr. Speaker.
Folks, it sounds like them fellas planning to stay at St. Jude at the stadium. You know, I'm not saying that the folks at the workers there, the medical team, that we do not want them to work in a safe environment, and we are just out here looking in. And I would say, if you were saying to us that the hospital will be ready in the twinkling of an eye, I would expect that every effort would be placed on giving us this St. Jude's Hospital. You have already made your decision that you're going to give us the old building and part of the new building. That's what you fellas said. But it looks like you're planning to do a lot of upgrade at the stadium, spending a lot of money, but yet you have monies for the reconstruction of the stadium. So you're going to move St. Jude's into its building, and then you're going to repair the stadium, brand new stadium. But then you are doing a lot of major temporary work. So I know there are urgent situations at the stadium that need attention. But what is, you see, and again, outside of lack of information, then we start assuming stuff. When are we going to move into the St. Jude's Hospital, the new building? When are we going to go over? When are we going to move these guys out, the workers out, and the patients out of the stadium? That's my question. And why are we spending a lot of money as though we're going to keep them there for the next 2 years? Why am I feeling that we're going to keep them there for the next 2.5 years? Why? Why am I getting that feeling? Maybe it's wrong, but I'm just saying that's what I'm getting from these fellas. But I want you all to listen a little more, and then I will correct him on the church situation.
Of the Health System Strengthening Project and the OECS project and her team for all of the work that they've done. I wish to thank PF and the implementation of it. Provisions of data 1,000 on a DC-10. We are spending the money. I will leave it for the policy debate. But again, Mr. Speaker, the members opposite, especially the member for Miku South, they are all over the place, Mr. Speaker, criticizing our approach to universal health coverage. We have said to them, we are not like them, Mr. Speaker. Our job is to deliver to the people of St. Lucia. And whether we are delivering it to them stage by stage, we are delivering. But let me just tell you, Mr. Speaker, very quickly, since June 1st of 2023, a total of 1,000 the universal health and also the mental finance, and to ensure
it was contributed. How can you be you and I, like the other constituencies, Mr. Speaker, supporting facilities when he wants to make a request for situation?
And he's the one. He is the one, Mr. Speaker. The children of St. Lucia and the people of St. Lucia must rest their confidence in. I stand here in support of the estimates of, and he's the one. Improve facilities for the environmental health department. The challenges and the project, $400,000. Mr. Speaker, some additional funds are earmarked healthcare for the Soufriere hospital. To them, stage by stage, we are delivering on a DC-10 universal health coverage. Cervical cancer, nous avons bâti l'hôpital Saint-Jude. Nous avons fini travailler à l'hôpital Saint-Jude à Auger. Ils allaient pousser mon sorti en stadium là avec tout travail là qu'a fait pour sa fête. Nous avons fait travail là bien. Nous pas voulu faire choc-bloc. Dernier gouvernement c'est croiser de croiser building. Ils mettent tracteur building. Jique l'église yo croiser qu'on nous devait faire l'église à l'hôpital là. C'est pour ça épidémie obligé de tomber laisser moun ça ici. Épidémie. Depuis c'est l'église où croiser. There was a chapel where people would go and pray for their sick relatives and so on. This last government put a tractor in it, an excavator in it. Depuis c'est l'église où croiser ou prier ça. Ou prier ça, épidémie. On y pour ride their truck and so like shut by because why croiser l'église c'est mon. Mr. Speaker, I wish at this time.
So there you have it, friends. Mr. John Baptiste accused Mr. Chasney and has his administration basically of mashing up a church, and that is why they have I think is what they call that. He really cursed. He's saying that you know, something is wrong with them. They're paying for their sins because they mash up a church. And like I said earlier today, Mr. Baptiste, who was the pastor of your church at St. Jude's? How many members you had in that church when Mr. Chastney mashed it up? How many Bibles and hymnals you had in that church when Mr. Chastney mashed up the church, like you said to the people? And he's so cursed to the point that he's riding in the hot sun behind a van. And I think that would have been a good place for the Speaker of the House to come in and say, you know, sir, you're stepping out of line. And this guy, I saw him doing the sign of the cross earlier in the opening session of the House, and I am shocked that he will use a day where his religion, the Catholic Church, takes as a holy week, and he would be doing the stuff that we saw him carrying on with in the House, in the people's house today. And so he said that Mr. Chastney mash up a church. And so Mr. Chastney is paying basically for his sins. Let me remind Mr. Man, and just bear with me, all right? I'm doing this all by myself. Let me remind the honorable gentleman of something that he might have missed. Something that he might have missed. All right?
The public's eye and released on Tuesday on Norbert Williams' satirical program, Keeping It Real. The low point for a man, Joachim Henry, who had witnessed his world, of which his son, the late Joshima Henry, a shining light, go dim.
My only son, my only male figure in my life, not just my only son. I have no grandfather. I never knew my grandfathers, nor my mother, nor my thing. I have no uncles. My father has no brother. My mother has no brothers. Right? The only male that was in my life was my father. I lost him. One male came back, was my son. I saw him as my father, my grandfather, my uncle, my brother. We spoke about everything. I spoke with my son on Friday. He died after exercising on Saturday.
On April 3rd, 2021, the Henrys received a report that no family wants to hear. Their health-conscious, fitness-fanatic son had passed. There were reports that the close-knit family and the father, Joachim Henry in particular, had a hard time coming to terms with the loss. Persons close to the family said Joachim Henry cried constantly as he made preparations to bury his son on his compound. It was difficult for him to let go.
My son has always said to me that you don't have to stay in this thing because as a doctor I will take care of my sisters. You could retire when you want. You know, my son was specializing in family medicine. My son, how I raised him, grew up to be.
Received a flood of messages. It was from their nemesis and political opponent, Guy Joseph. The family say they were skeptical at first, but common decency demanded that they responded. Then came Saturday's shocking turnaround. The Henrys accused Guy Joseph of seeking to make political mileage from the death of their son, using their courteous response to his message of condolence as a weapon against them. To the Henrys, that was the final straw. Against the wishes of his wife, he drove to confront Guy Joseph, who was officiating the Sabbath service at Forestier.
You send me condolences on my phone. You send you using it and you saying you're my friend. Then you going around and you're lying on me. You going around and you're lying on me. You going around and you're lying on me. No party give me money to campaign. No party gave me money to campaign. No party gave me money to campaign. going around and telling people all kind of lies about me. But you're sending me condolences and telling me.
The service was abandoned with members of the congregation intervening to prevent the situation from spiraling further out of control. Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Fox.
Now, you heard for yourself, and we're not even going to talk about his son and those things. That is not a joking matter. But what I played this clip to show you the difference between the statement by John Baptiste concerning the United Workers' Party, the United Workers' Party leader, and what Mr. Henry did to a Seventh-day Adventist church while the service was in progress, a Sabbath service. And you heard the reporter repeating that Joachim said, Henry said, Guy Joseph was sending him messages, a whole set of messages, and that was Guy Joseph's sin in sending condolences to his family. And so he came to the church to tell him, you're a hypocrite, and you're telling people things about me, and then you're sending me messages, and blah, 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 blah. I never have compound money, and it's on the Sabbath it became a very, very ungodly and unrighteous moment. But Mr. John Baptiste, and he is the representative for Beaufort North, is saying to the United Workers' Party, accusing them of mashing up a church, and that they are so cursed that their leader drives behind an open van in the sun because he is paying for mashing up a church in Beaufort. That is ridiculous, unrighteous, ungodly, and should not have been said in the people's house. Period. Now, you could have said, you wanted to say, Mr. Shastey and Guy, they break down 2 buildings. Fine. If that's the truth, it's the truth. But my question again is, what church did the United Workers' Party lose in St. Lucia? Was it a Seventh-day Adventist church in Forest there? Was it a Seventh-day Adventist church in Beaufort? Because the last time I checked, the Seventh-day Adventist church is still in Beaufort. So which church did the United Workers' Party lose? Which church? And we deserve an answer, because you said that they're cursed, basically. And it's a shame, friends, that our politics have become what it is on what he would consider in his religion a holy week. And yes, I know he's excited. He wants to give jabs just like the others did. He wants to give a jab. He wants to join in the nastiness. And so in his excitement to make somebody laugh in the house, because when they finish laugh, they're going to eat steak and drink wine and laugh at everybody else, because they're already set. Mr. John Baptiste, if he leaves politics, he's already set. Well, somebody said that he's planting in his area male coconut tree. I don't know why people will be planting male coconut tree around their house. You want to plant coconut tree where you can drink coconut water. If you were Minister of Agriculture and it's male coconut you're planting all around your place, then something is wrong. No wonder we had a problem under your leadership as Agriculture Minister in the country. But that aside, who were you talking to? Were you talking to Mr. Joachim? who violated the church. A matter of fact, it was a criminal act to disturb is a criminal act to disturb any church service in St. Lucia. Criminal act. So, what is it? What is it really? What are you saying to us? What are you saying to us? And who would be more Modi for violating a church service? And by the way, you politicians, when you do all your unrighteousness and you're doing side of the cross and you're doing all kind of things and you're going to people's church just to show off, then you are also Modiing yourself. Why do you go to church? Because you really love Jesus and you want to be better? Why do you go to church? Why? So I think that statement, Mr. John Baptiste, it's wrong. Should not be. Once I heard it, it left a bitter taste in my mouth and a vibrating sound in my ear. It was wrong. You could have found or figure out other jabs to give Chastney. But him mashing up a church and he's cursed, that's a no-no. I don't support that. It's craziness. Let's go over to Mr. Chastney, and I believe is Mr. I believe his what he is Mr. Heavy Roller. Let's go over to Heavy Roller and hear what Heavy Roller got to say, folks. Let's go to Mr. Chastney first. All right, so we're going to go to Mr. Chastney.
Okay. The member from Castries, he said it was only a madman who would believe that tourism would have recovered.
Mr. Speaker, I'm challenging you. Anything I say, he'll say, I'll be it. That's a challenge. Anything, Mr. Speaker, I'll say, like the member from Middle South says, I'll play it. I challenge him. Anything he says, I say, play it.
Flashback.
The government is continuing as usual, as if nothing happened. The government of St. Lucia is the only government that believes that tourism will get back to how it was pre-COVID. I think it's the only government in the world that believes that. There's no other government, I think, who believes that except the government of St. Lucia. So what do? We continue with business as usual. We continue to build an airport based on the fact that our airport would get its income from arrivals. Are you serious? Do you really believe? I never knew. I never understood the impact of tourism in St. Lucia.
Okay. The member from Castries, he said it was only a madman who would believe that tourism would have recovered.
Mr. Speaker, I'm challenging you. Play it. Anything I say, he'll say, I'll be it. That's a challenge. Anything, Mr. Speaker, I'll say, like the member from Middle South says, I'll play it. I challenge him. Anything he says, I say, play it.
Flashback.
The government is continuing as usual, as if nothing happened. The government of St. Lucia is the only government that believes that tourism will get back to how it was pre-COVID. I think it's the only government in the world that believes that. There's no other government, I think, who believes that except the government of St. Lucia. So what do? We continue with business as usual. We continue to build an airport based on the fact that our airport would get its income from arrivals. Are you serious? Do you really believe? I never knew. I never understood the impact of tourism in St. Lucia.
Okay. The member from Castries, he said it was only a madman who would believe that tourism would have recovered.
Mr. Speaker, I'm challenging you. Play it. Anything I say, he'll say, I'll be it. That's a challenge. Anything, Mr. Speaker, I'll say, like the member from Middle South says, I'll clear it. I challenge him. Anything he says, I say clear it.
Flashback.
The government continues as usual, as if nothing happened. This government is the only government that believes that tourism will get back to how it was pre-COVID. I think it's the only government in the world that believes that. There's no other government, I think, who believes that except the government of St. Lucia. So what do? We continue with business as usual. We continue to do based on the fact that our port will get its income from arrivals. Are you serious? Do you really believe? I never knew. I never understood the impact of tourism in St. Lucia.
Okay? The member from Castries, he said it was only a madman who would believe that tourism would have recovered.
Mr. Speaker, I'm challenging you. Anything I say, he'll say, I'll get it. That's a challenge. Anything, Mr. Speaker, I'll say that the member from Middle South says, I'll clear it. I challenge him. Anything he says, I say
Flashback.
The government is continuing as usual, as if nothing happened. The government of St. Lucia is the only government I believe that tourism will get back to how it was pre-COVID.
Mon passe après Magie Baptiste. Mon passe après Magie Baptiste.
Take his microphone and usher him out. No. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher.
You see, I can't believe. You all see why I cannot believe Mr. Pear with a lot of things he's saying. He might be correct in some things, but it is so difficult, and you get a migraine trying to figure out whether he is he remembers, if his memory is working fine, because for the time Shasta said that, he's very strategic. You see, Mr. Pear. So he's saying, well, that's not the way I said it. I did not say that it only takes a madman to believe that. Well, basically, that's what you're saying. Because if you're saying that this government is the only government in the world that believes tourism will come back, you're saying, well, you guys are mad. You guys ain't making sense. So who you guys are? Y'all are stupid. Y'all don't believe that stupidness. That's basically what you're saying. So to say I never said that. Reverend, and the man is interrupting the Honorable Alan Shastley to correct the truth, And he said, anything I say, I can bring a video. Anything I can say, I can bring the proof. Mr. Pear, we are still waiting on the proof that, you know what? This is the proof we are still waiting for. Let's put it up. Is it that? Let's see.
What's happening behind the scene? What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say it at some point, and you all may have to deal with me because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know.
So, Mr. Pear, we're happy that you know. We want proof that you know, because today, when you make the fupa, instead of sitting down and let the man give you your jab, because y'all have been jabbing Shastley all days, or a tet bugler, jam bugler. All of you, how many of y'all? 15 or 16? 16 of you jabbing one man. What's his name? The other opposition brother. He goes scot-free. He don't get any persecution from them fellas, Stanley, what's his name? Look, I forget. Bradley, they don't see Bradley, Shastley is the only one that them 15 or 16 men beat down every minute of the debate, And all Shastley got to do is say one thing and all hell break loose. I tell you, imagine the Prime Minister disturbs the man. And by the way, Alan Shastley was the only person who were disturbed during the discussion based on what I was seeing at the time. He sat there and he allowed those guys to speak. He was respectful to them. And I will show you where the disrespect started. There's a culprit, and we got to expose that culprit. But Mr. Pear, you are wrong. We got you. You did say, and we are fact checking you, and I'm going to have a news part of this program every night. We're going to fact check you all. And that, my friend, it is a 100% untruth. It is not the truth. You did make a mockery of the industry. You said you did not understand it. You went to England and you said, I did not understand the importance of tourism. And then you came and you said, this government is the only government who believes. Can you believe it? They're building the airport. Can you believe it? They're the only members, people who believe in the world, I think, that tourism will come back. And you know what is saving the country? Tourism. You know which industry, which section of the country recovered quickly? It was what? It was tourism. We have a call. Okay, we'll take that call after a little later on. But let's go back to the House. Heavy roller.
Member for Castries North.
Hold a minute, Heavy roller. The fellas take away a lot of millions of dollars from his budget. But look at the amount of, he have more papers than the Prime Minister, more everything around him like he's the Prime Minister. Heavy roller, you're not the Prime Minister. You're taking so long just to talk. Look at him. Look at papers, look at that. You all have no roads going on. You tell us it's raining, but look at the amount of papers you have. Confusion. Chastney have him, you know, watch it.
Mr. Speaker, at the end, thank you. At the end of this term of office, this session of Parliament, one of us in this chamber will walk home with the trophy for having the record of having walked out of this house more than anyone else in 40 to 50 years. More than Johnny Walker. Mr. Speaker, I have been here, Mr. Speaker, from 1987 with a break of 9 years. I have never walked out of this chamber. Never. I have seen other members walk out in my time. But for purpose, to demonstrate a point and to show that as a consequence of their position, they're walking out. But there's one member inside here, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker walks out every time certain members stand up to speak in this Parliament. And so it's the demonstration of an individual, and I remember one member in the last sitting said, Shinya Popot. It's a demonstration of an individual who doesn't have the gonads to sit here and debate like a mature man and take his blows when the blows come. So he can come back I saw a photo this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, of a garbage truck with a man sitting in the back of it heading to their globe. So they try all kinds of things. They're in, they're out, they're heading all over the place to gain prominence, to gain acceptance. But this government, Mr. Speaker,
okay, so let me just address Mr. King on his failed attempt on Mr. Chastney. Now, you, King, you're a very dangerous person. You've been dangerous. Yeah, you've been dangerous. You sat with that same man. This same Alan Chastney met with you as a man, face to face. And he asked you, "Are you okay, Mr. King?" You said, "Yes, man, everything good, Prime Minister. Yes, 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 I love you, everything good. Oh, yeah, man, we win in this elections. Yes, yeah, man, everything is good." You gave him your word that everything was good. This man, Alan Chastney, believed you because he thought you were a man too. So how dare you question Mr. Chastney's manhood, whether he's a man or a child, because he went out to pee? So the man decided that, look, I will come back in time for Mr. King's speech. So let me run quickly at this point. You know, I had to hold it for Baptiste. I had to hold it for all of you because, you know, let me just run quickly. And let me go and pee. The same men he's sitting with there and he's comfortable with and has been comfortable all his time within the United Workers' Party. Very comfortable with them in meetings, private meetings, all the time. It is a long time because he's voted out as the leader and somebody as the leader. It's a while now that Mr. King felt bad that he should be the anointed leader of St. Lucia. He should be the anointed leader of the United Workers' Party. Nobody else. I'm the only qualified leader in the United Workers' Party, and anybody else becomes leader, I will start the process of transitioning to the St. Lucia Labour Party. And so he's comfortable with the fellas. He watched them over there. They're laughing, and he don't realize that the Labour Party fellas over there are pushing him to say things. So the Prime Minister watches and he smiles, and everybody over there, he lay there, yeah man, yeah man, yeah man, king, king, king. And they smile and they laugh, yeah, they laugh, they hit the desk, king, macho man, yes man. The worst thing to do is to be in the same party with your enemy, the so-called political enemies that you have been beaten down all your life, and to be in the same party. You don't know when they're going to swing on you. You don't know whether they trust you or not. You don't know. You're just on eggshell. You're just watching your back at every moment. And there them fellas sit across him, giving him props. Yeah, man, we with you, we with you. Tell him. Punch us. Yeah, tell him. And King get up and he excites himself. When, by the time this session is over, one man will have won the trophy of walking out. Johnny Walker, is that your favorite drink, sir? Yes, I still walk out. And he was in the back of a van going to Dayglow. Let me tell you something, sir. Mr. Chastney is a decent man. Honorable, respectable man who have not crossed the floor as yet. Mr. Shaston is an honorable man who sits there and take blows from you guys on a daily basis. You guys have him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's a man. Stays there and takes his blows and punch. But I suspect Alan Shaston purpose in his heart, just like Kenny Anthony, that he's not going to sit down and listen to Richard Frederick say anything to him. And I would agree with you. Because if you have a man that besmirches you at every opportunity and treats you like the worst scum of the earth, and then I supposed to sit down and listen to you give me some speech, then the Labour Party have set the pace. Because when the Governor General of St. Lucia, the former Governor General or the present Governor General, Mr. Snag, walked up from you guys, it burned you all for years. Some of you die not talking to him. Because he committed such a great crime, he left your party. So every time the Governor General gives a speech, all of you get up and walk out. Mr. King, you know that very well, ain't it? But you're playing the role of a harlot, a hypocrite. Then you want to give an honorable man mépris. And so you jab. You can't even find your papers. You jab. And the real jab, Mr. King, is that we have lost a lot of souls on the road. Our road networks are responsible for the death of many St. Lucians. Many St. Lucians lost their assets, lost their body parts, lost loved ones, lost their vehicles, lost their tires, lost their spring. They almost lose their mind because of the roads. Mr. King, do you realize while you're jabbing Mr. Chasney that your Prime Minister have no confidence in your work, that he removed $15 or more million from under your heavy rollers or your curlers? So, Mr. King, do you realize that while you're giving jabs, we don't know who is the communication person in your ministry? I have not heard from the communication guy for a long time, and you said this is the year of infrastructure, which means that we should hear even more of your communication guy. But we don't hear him and you say nothing. So while we're here talking about Dayglow and Johnny Walker, let me ask you, where is your communication guy in the Ministry of Infrastructure? Just a question. That's a question. For me, as I said, I haven't heard him. I don't see him. And I don't know if he's on vacation, he's sick, or what is happening. Maybe you can tell us. But all I can tell you, Mr. King, is $15 million or more was removed from your ministry. The question is why? This is the year of infrastructure and you are losing monies. A matter of fact, if it's a year of infrastructure, King, you should have more. But you're studying Shasney behind his own van. And that was misleading, though, because who did you see behind the garbage truck except for garbage workers? Who? Explain to us. And no wonder the United Workers' Party say happy radiance to good garbage. You have no remorse, no regrets, no sincerity in anything, and you're dissing an honorable man. You are a very bad person, sir. You see, they're pushing him. Watch
Mr.
his face.
Speaker.
They're pushing him. Watch him go. Watch his face. Yeah, he fixed his jacket.
At the end,
Look at him.
Thank
you. King, yeah, man.
at the end of this
Look at his beautiful smile.
term of office,
Yes.
this session of Parliament,
Yes, sir.
one of us in this chamber will walk
watching these
home
fellas.
with the trophy for having the record of having walked out of this house more than anyone else in 40 to 50 years. More than Johnny Walker. Mr. Speaker, I have been here, Mr. Speaker, from 1987 with a break of 9 years. I have never walked out of this chamber. Never.
That's a record.
I have seen other members walk out
Your
in my
Prime
time.
Minister.
But for purpose,
Oh, now it's for purpose.
to demonstrate a point and to show that as a consequence of their position.
So, ho. This one is confusing because, King, it seems like you were a snake longer than we thought. You were a cobra? King, I'm listening to you and it seems like no. Wait till I. So, King, it seems to me that you were a cobra for a very long time. King of our sir. King is saying that them fellas. You remember when Kenny on them walk out and Mr. I know who doing the crime said. Mr.
I heard this short fella. The sky is falling.
Mon passe après Major Baptiste.
This short fella.
Mon passe après Major Baptiste.
So
I heard this short fella.
Like if you say, do what like I said, this is not the house, you know.
The sky is falling.
It wise me, I say, do what like I said.
I heard this.
Don't put my nose. So King is now looking back and he's saying that when them fellas walk out of the house, it was a beautiful thing. It was the lawful thing to do. It was such a beautiful sight to see them fellas walk out on the United Workers' Party government. And do you know that his now Prime Minister is the one who stayed back to extend his protest. He stayed back to give them a piece of his mind. And he said to them, none of you can do me nothing. None of you can do me nothing in here. I tell you already, none of you can do me nothing in here. So King is saying that was just a beautiful moment. The guys had a purpose. They had a reason. And Shasta have no reason, basically, to walk out. Reverend St. Lucia, I'm trying to figure out whether you guys, if that's a real place or that is just a mirage. You know, I don't know what it is. Because King, after he gave his jab to Chasney, and he said, I have been in this house, and I have seen people walk out, when he realized them fellas get serious on him, when King look at the Prime Minister face, and King see them fellas get screwed up one time, they get messed up. King had to backtrack. King said, well, it was for cause.
And usher him out. And usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone. Just a minute.
Yes, that's sure. That's sure. So, you see, I tell you, they're playing him. Them fellas playing him like a puppet. The man see Prime Minister turn from man to beast. Prime Minister is like, Gassa, what you saying there, Gassa? Stop that nonsense, Gassa. King say he's the only one that never walks. Hey, Mr. Barbuda, honestly, I'm beginning to agree with you that this is a mongoose gang. I'm finally believing that this is a mongoose gang. Look at the backtrack. Look at the backtrack, my friend. Wait till I look at it. Yes, I show.
Member for Castries North.
Bathroom break. King embarrassed, he smiles. Nice me. I'm in for him, man. Got them fellas preparing. King there pretending he's fixing paper, but he's planning his attack. Cobra don't plan their attack, you know, they just attack. All them papers the man have, over $15 million spare, just move out from his ministry. There's a Paisia, I keep in $15 million in case I have to repair the roads by myself. Remember, I got a chance to the pouvoir. Let's wait for King. He's still figuring out his plan. Same thing Shasta had to, and boy, Shasta tell him, you all figure out for yourself now, you all move out money quickly. Looking for script, man. The one on Shasta he's looking for. Was 50 million gone. Yeah, man.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
At the end, thank you. At the end of this term of office, this session of Parliament, one of us in this chamber will walk home with the trophy for having the record of having walked out of this house more than anyone else.
Yes, sir, shut your mouth. We had enough of you with that nonsense. Enough of that nonsense. You want to know what you're doing about our roads? You're talking about Shasta walking out to go and take a bathroom break. That's not what we want to hear. That's not what we want to hear. Who cares about Shasta whether he ride on the roof or ride is his vehicle? If the man want to ride on the engine, that's his problem. If the man want to walk out, it's his foot. You too lazy to walk out, that's your problem. Not even to the bathroom you want to go for a bathroom break. Huh? All you're doing is drinking water in the house. I haven't seen you gone anywhere for no bathroom break. All the other members, up and down, up and down. What, you don't take your pills, your water pills? Ou passe every bathroom la? Sound hello. Moi si we, si ou pa te fin, ou de kay mache, do, ay pisse. So kite bouk la gase. Bouk la pa abeto. You already dead weight, leave the man alone. Kite pad na my gase. Leave the man alone.
Mon passe après magie Baptiste.
Get up.
Mon passe après magie Baptiste.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out.
Somebody got to usher you out to use the bathroom, man, because that ain't make no sense what you just said there. And you know the nasty thing is that as soon as he said all that nastiness, when he look around, Shastney sitting there, you know. Soon as the guy finished the last piece of his nastiness and he look up, Shastney sitting right there watching him in his chair like this. That was an embarrassing moment because it was not called for. There was no need to jab Mr. Shastney about going out. You didn't know what he was going out for. But you want a piece of him, of course. But the longest rope have an end. That's all I can say, sir. Moi même. I thought, honestly, you kind of let me down there because ou pa te pou fè sa ou fè la, awa. Now, let's see if we can find Mr. Shastney, one of Mr. Shastney's speech, because I want to hear, let's see where Mr. Shastney, if he, just bear with me. Where Mr. Shastney? Let's find him. We have a little slowdown down the system. Let's pray it don't crash tonight. System would be up soon. Okay, here is Mr. Shastney. I want to show you something, right? As Mr. Shastney speak. Oh, wait, we're having some issues.
That he had in 2006 to 2011 in his own constituency, which appeared to be visionless. That the impact, Mr. Speaker, of what United Workers' Party did between 2016 and 2021 had a significant impact on his vision and his own aspirations for Labrie. Okay. Mr. Speaker, I said before I begin my estimates, no problem, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, all of a sudden, you would think that the statement of you cannot eat roads, you cannot eat roads, that was the cry. All of a sudden, I hear members on the opposite side standing talking about they cannot wait to see the roads. They cannot wait. The village tourism that we were talking about, of which Labrie has a rich history and a tremendous amount of potential for developing Labrie. But the member would ought to know is that in order for Labrie to be able to maximize its potential, you must develop the South. And that is a vision that the Labour Party seems to be lacking in, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the infrastructure is much broader than that. So let's go through it, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the entire budget, the year of infrastructure, we're talking about, we're going to...
Hold a minute. You realize, right, that these fellas are disrespectful. And let's establish that. Them fellas are disrespectful. You know why I'm saying that? Every other word that comes out of Shastney's mouth, you have a whole set of noise around him. From the time he opens his mouth, one after the other, they can't wait. They can't wait. They can't wait for Shastney. And that's why St. Lucians, we got to fix this. If we don't fix this, we will have a problem in the country. We got to fix it. Because if one man can't have the time to speak freely, one man, all of them, he sits and he allows all of them to speak. Once he is speaking, all fall down. Let's go back. Listen. Just go ahead. I have you. Go.
People hope, Mr. Speaker, the entire budget is up $40 million. After boasting about these incredible surpluses, Mr. Speaker, that is the best that this government can come up with, is that they're going to inject another $40 million of expenditure into this country. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me go through the details of that. The merits of the audit, the outcome of the audit, Mr. Speaker, we keep hearing that we're going to make it a document of the House. We're going to make it a copy of that, right? Mr. Speaker, there was an increase.
Order.
On the grants, contributions, and subventions, Mr. Speaker, it's also important to note that in 2022-23, it was 1.574 million. Last year, it went to 7.17 million. And this, Mr. Speaker, there are people, obviously, who must be concerned about where we're going. Mr. Speaker, rental hire has gone from, in public service, from 15 million to 28 million. Mr. Speaker, this has been a growing number over many years, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, if I can bring that point up. In the members' budget estimates, budget speech, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, let me continue, Mr.
Speaker.
No, Dubula, because Mavsaki ve Missia. Maybe Sia même pas ni pièce contrôle ou savent. Missia même pas ça debout, il passe assise. Et just quitter moun parler. Ma jamais ouais un homme. Un homme. Fait magie ça écrit. Et I'm very controlled with what I want to say. But our gars, quitter boucle la parler gars, ça qui veut ça. Ça c'est timamai. You know what I'm going to recommend in the next few years? That we send candies and toys when they have sit-ins. We get barrels of candies and toys, Legos and all kind of puzzle, and give them sweetie to suck. King like a lot of sweetie. He like chewing gum. If you look at him, he toujours come chewing gum and sweet. Ma takivi toujours come Gassou say lollipop et come chewing gum. No way. So we'll sell a lot for them to distract them, and even Buddy. Buddy behave cow gas écoute boukla Zakibo. Ou pas behave cow. Kite boukla parle gas ma vle tanu encore. Si mo tanu encore, na idea bagay. Where? Go ahead, Mr. Shaston. I got you. Where? Go ahead.
$1 a square foot, Mr. Speaker. There are many office space rentals that are in excess of $6. So on one hand, what we're hearing the government say, Mr. Speaker, is that they're complaining about the mall, but at the same time are admitting that there is a demand for more office space within the government. Mr. Speaker, Ministry of National Security. on page 190.
Look drama. Wait till I say. Wait till I kute me say kute.
It was interesting to note, Mr. Speaker, that other than the fact that the budget has been cut, and now we have three ministers of national security, I guess that signifies the overwhelming importance of security, that we would have to have 3 ministers.
Member for Castries East.
I don't want to interrupt the leader of the opposition. He's doing a good job himself. Just because there are not 3 ministers of national security. There was, in the budget, there is an allocation for a separate Ministry of National Security. As you speak now, the ministerial portfolios as follows: finance, economic development, youth economy, and Ministry for Justice and National Security. 1. What will happen now is there's going to be a separate ministry, a separate ministerial administration called National Security.
Sit down.
It was never said that there will be a new minister of national security. So the leader of the opposition, as usual, could you please, I won't ask him to withdraw because that's what he said. But you know, these things go out in the public. There's only one minister of national security, one. But like, you know, if he deliberating everything, I won't ask him to withdraw me. There's only one minister of national security, and the records will show you that from inception in 2021, there was only one minister of national security. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, it's interesting to note that last year there was a separate line item for Home Affairs and for National Security. This year, the two have been merged. And, you know, again, this government tends to do things to leave things to speculation. The member from Miku North, who I'm very happy that he has a portfolio, the title of his portfolio, I didn't give him the title of the portfolio, is crime prevention. So you have a Minister of Home Affairs, a Minister of National Security, and a Minister of Crime Prevention. And meanwhile, you have a reduction in the budget. And remember, this is coming on the heels of the fact that last year that we had, was it the year of health and security. Now, I'm not going to go down the road of speaking about the numbers of security as to whether we saw an improvement in security. Everybody knows for themselves what's happened with security. Everybody knows. The fact is that right now we have 3 ministers. So I move on, Mr. Speaker. On page 190, it says to improve.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Bagas me a term with Baptiste, sir. It's 3 ministers you have. I said nothing about it. Reverend still there. You see the system just, it tried to fail, but do sir. You see the system, it almost crashed with me there. So let's go forward still. Shast, go back. Crash elsewhere.
Through community involvement in crime fighting, thereby enhancing citizen security and safety. The achievements. Patrols impact 30,792 48 hours of patrols were conducted in the first half of the financial year. When compared to the same period, there was a decrease of 17%. Complex situation of having now 3 ministers with titles associated to security. And we see in their own report the impact of not giving the additional allocation. It must show the level of confidence, Mr. Speaker, that they have in the member from Castries North. And no wonder he feels that in order maybe to gain back some level of credibility, he has to now become like his friend from Castries Central, who I still say is my friend. Right? But at the end of the day, right, they're there for a reason. 2 independent people lost in the wilderness, Mr. Speaker. And the Ministry of Infrastructure, are you kidding me? That his capital expenditure went from 97 million to 61 million. But yet, Mr. Speaker, the operating cost remains at the same 25 million. So here it is that he is going to produce less or have less money to spend, but yet he has to maintain the same staff. So that tells me a story. That tells me, Mr. Speaker, that y'all have now discovered that we know the reason why he got the name heavy roller. Heavy roller is a piece of equipment, is a big piece of equipment that moves slowly. And the reason why they call him the heavy roller, okay, because he was dead weight. He's dead weight. That's what he is, Mr. Speaker. Even worse yet, if the member says himself the heavy roller.
Mr. Speaker, okay? The honourable member...
Member of Castries North, please wait to be recognized.
Yeah, on a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is misleading the House. It's not people who call me heavy roller. I call myself heavy roller. Not people.
Mon passe après Magie Baptiste. Mon passe après Magie Baptiste.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
No.
Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out.
Shaz got him. Imagine this man interrupted Mr. Shastley to correct, to straighten the record. He's misleading the House. I am the one. In 1992, who called myself the heavy roller. I am the one, Mr. Speaker, who called myself.
The content on this platform,
Mr. Speaker, is me, who called myself the lazy roller. Shastley come out here, rice. Yes, sir. Shastley having all of them doing foolishness with themselves. All of them, one after the other, embarrassing themselves. You are disturbing the House. See what King Cobra, I taking a bathroom break. Mr. Speaker, excuse me, you bow. And I gonna pee. Excuse me, Mr. Speaker, I'm gonna pee. At least you could have said that. Excuse me, sir, Mr. Speaker, I want to pee for a minute too, so I soon come back. And you leave, but you're disturbing the room to say that I'm the one who called myself the lazy roller, or the heavy roller, or no roller at all, because the roads were not rolled. The roads are still in a mess. But Shastley, and if you look at Shastley's slick smile, Shastley baited the man, and he took the bait. He took it, Reverend, hook, line, and sinker. But Shas, go ahead now. We have you.
It must show the level of confidence, Mr. Speaker, that they have in the member from Castries North. And no wonder he feels that in order maybe to gain back some level of credibility, he has to now become like his friend from Castries Central, who I still say is my friend. Right? But at the end of the day, right, they're there for a reason. Two independent people lost in the wilderness, Mr. Speaker. And the Ministry of Infrastructure, are you kidding me? That his capital expenditure went from 97 million to 61 million. But yet, Mr. Speaker, the operating cost remains at the same 25 million. So here it is that he is going to produce less or have less money to spend, but yet he has to maintain the same staff. So that tells me a story. That tells me, Mr. Speaker, that y'all have now discovered that we know the reason why he got the name heavy roller. Heavy roller is a piece of equipment, is a big piece of equipment that moves slowly. And the reason why they call him the heavy roller, okay, because he was dead weight. He's dead weight. That's what he is, Mr. Speaker.
Folks. That's funny. Shots, they have a very slick way of having them fellas to bend themselves out of shape. Them fellas are so much out of control. And if you look at Shasta, well, Shasta know he's playing them because he has a slick smile. He has a slick smile on his face. And Shasta's watching them too. Shasta target the other one. He say, yes, my friend, yes. Now I was like, I'm not your friend.
Be an American.
Guys, them fellas need to grow up quickly, I'm telling you. Because we'll have to have ambulance, all kind of thing outside that house every session. Because, and then Shasta turns around, he look at the other one, Mr. Roller Coaster, and he said to him, everyone is a piece of equipment. Oh God.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member
of Castries North, please wait to be recognized.
Yeah, on a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is misleading the House. It's not people who call me heavy roller. I called myself heavy roller. Not people. I called myself heavy roller in 1992. Thank you very much.
Remember to fix our roads.
Mr. Speaker, if in fact the member had called himself a heavy roller since 1992, I'm upset that we were not forewarned, because if we would have studied what a heavy roller was, and the equipment that everybody's seen a heavy roller, the big one with the big wheel on it, that's a heavy roller. But I'm going to say to you that what we've learned over time, Mr. Speaker, that is just dead weight. Okay, that's all we have, Mr. Speaker. Here it is, a member who is touting how great he is, a senior minister within the government, and his budget was cut by $50 million, Mr. Speaker. But I'm not done. I'm not done. Page 257, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, page 257. Implementation of interventions designed to maintain, improve, or create accessibility to communities and services, particularly after adversity, is a disaster. But here's what it says. The disaster and risk response plans are provided in the last budget to set up the computer maintenance management software, which would allow us to prepare those maintenance outlets. Further reduction of public complaints. GPH. Okay? Who was the head of the special unit in SLASPA? Who was? You don't know? Okay. So there was a special unit, Mr. Speaker, in SLASPA with its own staffing to provide the oversight. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, Harry was also hired to provide oversight. So you had 3 entities providing oversight, Mr. Speaker. All of the projects that were being done under the HI airport were being put out to tender. It was everything. Every single thing was put out to tender. Absolutely. So you're telling me that the piling was not tender? The piling was not tender? The piling was not tender? The piling was tendered. The mainframe building was tendered. Every aspect was being tendered. We appointed OECC to provide the oversight and expert. Remember, Mr. Speaker, that's the same OECC that did the airport in St. Vincent, have done airports in Taiwan, have done all kinds of things, Mr. Speaker. Okay, Mr. Speaker? All of them. That's what OECC did. That's who OECC. It's unbelievable to me that the members again would attempt to demonize an entity just in order to justify what they want to do. The same way they demonize Cabot, they demonize DSH, they demonize Sandals, they demonize everybody. But the moment they're in government and they believe that they're getting anybody to comply with them, all of a sudden they become their best friends. So here it is. Don't they know that Taiwan is our friend? And that who is the owner, one of the owners, majority owners of OECC? The Taiwanese government, who gave us the loan. So I left you with the foundation already done and all of the financing already in place, and this government came in with this minister and stopped it. The Millennium Highway has been a catastrophic disaster, Mr. Speaker. Road conditions have never been worse in this country, and don't take it from me, Mr. Speaker, take it from the people out there. Every day people are calling the shows to complain about the state of roads. And again, remember, Mr. Speaker, what makes it worse is members in this house today and yesterday want to brag about roads that they said you cannot eat. But you know what, Mr. Speaker? Even sugar cakes gets the word. Even sugar cakes. Even sugar cakes. I see the minister has gone to get a canine dog from France. Right? And I saw he was in Canada talking to sugar cakes. I don't know if he was trying to convince sugar cakes to come down to St. Lucia to help that canine or to keep that canine friendly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, driver's license.
Yeah, shut fire, mister. When these are shots you're taking no prisoners. You ain't taking prisoners. Diana Charles, I want to be the dog handler, you know. Miss Charles, Diana, I want to be the dog handler. Because very soon you'll be very rich because sugar cake, they're talking about sugar cake in Parliament. Sugar cake is the official dog, Homeland Security dog in St. Lucia. Mama, so Philip Jeppe went up to talk to sugar cake. Well, yeah, I gotta drink water. I'm losing my voice, friends. Trouble in the house. Shas, honestly, you drop it like it hot today. And I appreciate that. There was something in this for everybody. Even sugar cake got something in the budget. I heard they ordered a whole set of chicken for somebody. Everybody got something. Tutmun. Even Buddy got something. My God. Shas, Ubon. Ubon. All that excitement from Heavy Roller. Eku just ladje bombshell lie. Plukotok. Where? And by the way, we're having fun tonight. There are those out there who are watching us and they're mad, they're getting upset, they're losing their brain, they're losing everything, their hair, they're losing everything. Y'all just calm down. This is our platform and we have a right to entertain ourselves right here tonight together. Mind your business. Leave us to do our thing. Sugar cake is on our side. When I become National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Sugar Cake, your face will be on every police uniform in St. Lucia. Sugar Cake, I am putting your face on every police uniform in St. Lucia. Uki met you, Sugar Cake, I call you. Where? My Lord. And I heard there's another mongrel coming. There's a mongrel coming out from Martinique. Sugar Cake don't deal with mongrel. Sugar Cake deal with professional national advisors. Where, ma'am? Chas, do you think then?
You cannot eat. But you know what, Mr. Speaker? Even sugar cakes gets the word. Even sugar cakes. even sugar cakes. I see the minister has gone to get a canine dog from France, right? And I saw he was in Canada talking to sugar cakes. I don't know if he was trying to convince sugar cakes to come down to St. Lucia to help that canine or to keep that canine friendly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, driver's license. I hear there's a fiasco going on in driver's license. I hear reports that they are pierced persons who, I believe I know who the person is, but maybe I'm waiting for the government to enlighten us who the person was that is delivering and providing fake driver's license, Mr. Speaker. GPH. How you can have a deal, Mr. Speaker, that you're going to give away $400 million of revenue, and the only thing that we can see is friends are getting jobs. That's all. Where is it? Where are we getting? So you're going to give GPH all the revenue, and I see that before we came, we passed a gazetted thing to allow GPH now to collect the revenue from the garbage, the environmental tax. So I want to put all the taxi drivers, I reiterate and reaffirm, something is wrong, Mr. Speaker, with the Binance land. Mr. Speaker, I now move on to finance.
But wait, I heard something new there, that there's somebody in the system that is doing false ID driver's license. Shas, heavy roller, all that drama heavy roller doing, all that drama and magie heavy roller doing, and he's not speaking about that in his speech. Shas, something is wrong. Wait. Hold it, Shas. You see why you have to go over those clips? And there's a lot more we got to go through, you know. Some of you get bored very quickly. Is there somebody doing bubble crime in the Ministry of Infrastructure? That's just a question. And we would love to know an answer, because Per said he told the police what he knew. I don't know who Per was angry about, but Per is clearly angry about somebody close to him up there, and he said he have spoken to the police already. I want to know who in government, who in the system Mr. Shas is talking about. Shas, I'm coming for you. I sent in the FBI to interview you because you got to talk to us. We're going to send one of Caribbean American News reporter down to St. Lucia immediately on the first flight out tomorrow. Please, somebody, please, I beg you, please. Please tell us the truth. Anyway, let me listen to Shas uninterrupted.
Dog from France, right? And I saw he was in Canada talking to sugar cakes. I don't know if he was trying to convince sugar cakes to come down to St. Lucia to help that canine or to keep that canine friendly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, driver's license. I hear there's a fiasco going on in driver's license. I hear reports that they are pierced persons who, I believe I know who the person is, but maybe I'm waiting for the government to enlighten us who the person was that is delivering and providing fake driver's license, Mr. Speaker. GPH. How you can have a deal, Mr. Speaker, that you're going to give away $400 million of revenue, and the only thing that we can see is friends are getting jobs. That's all. Where is it? Where are we getting? So you're going to give GPH all the revenue, and I see that before we came, we passed a gazetted thing to allow sector. And sadly, the Labour Party, who were invited to be part of that recovery plan, went away.
As a country opinion, say no.
Know that we're way past that $50 million now. Workers coming from, Mr. Speaker. Who has the contract? The $30 million are going to pay out in bonds. To whom are they going to pay that money? Maybe it's the same person that is going to be renting them the building for CIP. I don't know. It might be. I'm very happy that they're going to be spending $2.5 million. So we wondered, Mr. Speaker, when they got the Saudi loan for $200 million, how much of that $200 million was going to go into the stadium? And here it says $2.5 million. Now I heard the Prime Minister say that that's for consultancy fees. And I would sit and I would go, okay, so when Don Lockerbie, his company, because it's not Don Lockerbie, his company, a company that's done major work around the world in that area, got paid $2.5 million for his consultancy fees, that was the end of the world. And here it is now, we're going to, for one project, which is the stadium, you're going to pay a consultant now $2.5 million for that. Mr. Speaker, I want to say...
Okay, brethren, there's a lot that came out there tonight. You all see I get cool one time, but things got serious on me there one time. Things get tight, serious. Man. I there try to drink water and mind my business. Sanatan la messier. Brethren, the phone line open. You know, we can take 2 calls before we go off the air. But something wrong. $2 million for a consultant for the stadium. Them fellas had big problem with chess and consultant and blah, blah, blah. And nah. Something is wrong with transparency and this government and whoa. But I show monsieur. Brethren, let's just do this, right? Here's my advice to you. Let us go through this debate line by line, presenter by presenter. Like I said to you, if you want to know what is really happening in the country, you got to listen to people, and you got to listen to people sometimes who are not in your party. We cannot listen to ourselves. We become a cult. We got to listen to individuals out there, both in government, in opposition, and independents. We got to listen. And you will hear. Now, all the excitement, as I said, that the heavy roller is playing off in the house there, these guys are hiding stuff from the St. Lucian people. These fellas are not telling us the full truth. They are not giving us an account, a proper account of what is going down in the country. They are not. And let me tell you something. You see, with all these millions of dollars they're talking about, the possibility is there that they fall short. The possibility is there that something can happen and they will not be able to borrow, they will not be able to get the funds that they plan for. And I am telling you, Lucians, brace yourself. Because them fellas want to tell us that we're getting one puppy dog from Martinique and we have to train the dog. One dog. And that's our canine unit. One dog. And we get it for free. When we had, I believe, what somebody said, 6 or so dogs with handlers and everything else that was doing a tremendous job. And now we're settling for one dog that we got to train. And that's the report that we're getting out of national security in the country. The year of infrastructure, $15 million removed from the Minister of Infrastructure. Kings, if I was you, I was watching my business, you watching the wrong man, you watching Shas. Ek you can put tout la about. Just so he's going to pull another king snake on pair. Just now, he can bail out on y'all. You're going to say you all treat him wrong. You all never allowed him to do his projects. And there was no tendering. And you don't know about the projects. And the Prime Minister just took all the projects in his office. And they were bypassing me. And I suffered so much as a minister, the disrespect. And I've had enough. And I'm going to leave. I'm going to expose you all fellas for corruption. Same story, nothing new under the sun, brethren. Nothing new under the sun. And for every act, let me tell you something. Sometimes, friends, we got to ask questions. We got to pay attention. We got to, you see, Chasney and his party, the United Workers' Party during their reign, there's a lot of things they were not saying to educate us, to enlighten us. And so many of us would speculate also, and I hope that the United Workers' Party government, the government in waiting, that they would take a different approach. Although Shas communicated a lot with the solution people, especially during COVID, but I would recommend that we step it up as much as we can. Let us not allow propaganda to take root. Let us avoid having people to speculate. Let us come out with the information. And I believe that the incoming government, the Prime Minister in waiting, I believe what he should do also is to look into acts of corruption. Look into acts where the constitution of the country was violated, both in the House and in every sector in government. We got to, with a fine tooth comb, we got to go through the agencies of government. We got to have audits. We got to sweep. And while we're sweeping, we got to clean. We got to bring chemical and clean up the nastiness in government. And we got to bring back civility to the House. So let's say that the Labour Party wins 5-6 seats. My recommendation is that we will deal with them, but we will deal with them in a respectful way. We will deal with them so that we can repair the image of both the Senate and the House. The citizens must see a difference. They must be able to look at the House and Senate sitting under the Labour Party, and they must be able to look at it on the United Workers' Party and say, wow, this is a big change, and we are proud of what we're seeing. Folks, listen to me. Y'all go to bed. Enough drama for the night. Drink your water. Mind your business. Those of you who go into church, go to church. But make sure you don't go to church just during this week. And for those of you who go to church, I don't want to see you all in carnival jumping up naked. I'm going to say that again. We have to stop the hypocrisy at some point. Those of you who have been fasting, who have been praying, who have been going to church every week, and you say this is Holy Week, make sure that I don't see you all jumping carnival naked. Make sure I don't see you all with a bottle of rum in your hand. Make sure, and I'm watching Uno, that I don't see you all cussing off each other and insulting each other on any platform. I'm watching for you all. So you all be kind, be good, and it's a good start. Go out there and be your best. Do your best. Be a good citizen, a model citizen, so that others can look at you and say, wow, one day I want to be like him. I want to be like her. And that's, my friend, that's how we help a generation to come, to be good, to be better, and even better than us. Remember, as I always say to you, we are documenting history. Let us be careful how we insert ourselves into this book, because a generation will laugh at us and mock us. This session of the House, they will laugh at us. And they're going to ask you, who is that little one behind there always shouting and screaming like a little girl? They're going to ask you, who is that one over there? Who is that one always screaming, shouting, always angry? Who is that? Sayaka Imadiza. One thing, tell them it's not me, oh. Tell them it's not me, oh. I gone. Anyway, let's get our favorite Prime Minister up to do his thing, you know. We cannot go without having our therapy. I've given you a lot of stress tonight. So now it is time for your favorite. Let me see if I can find it. I think I lose it on the system. Listen, I start loading up this thing again and, let me see here if we can fix it. Yeah.
And tell,
Of course, we got it
a
fixed.
big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people. And tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
What pass up when Maji Baptiste?
I must apologize to elderly people.
What pass up when Maji Baptiste?
Elderly people.
Take his microphone. Just a minute.
Big story.
Just a minute.
A big story. I must
Take his
apologize to
microphone.
elderly people. A big story.
Usher him out.
Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
Take his microphone and usher him out.
No. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story.
To our live stream with Garfield.
Attack.
Okay, folks, I believe
elderly people and tell.
I believe we have
a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked
I can't hear you
elderly people
I had to make some adjustments.
and tell.
I had already
A
shut
big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
We continue to build an airport based on the fact that our airport would get its income from.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, Brother Garfield. Oh, Brother Garfield. Oh, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Oh, Brother Garfield.
What did I do now? What did I do?
No. I just want to say, Shasta may tell you flat down, flat I say.
They never hit them.
Shasta done flat down, flat I say, Brother Garfield.
Talk for me.
Brother Garfield, I love this about, I don't like this. I like listening to stuff that makes a lot of sense in the house and stuff. But with the number of things they've said about to Alan Shasta in that house, good job he gave Stevenson King about being the heavy roller and not being able to move. This was the best thing that has been said to Stevenson King in years to put him in his place in the house. Because you can't tell me you saw a garbage van with a man sitting in the back of it and think that is being funny. Because there's nothing funny about that.
That was insulting.
That was insulting. Now, last year was the year. Did I say last year was the year of health and security?
It's funny. Fellas are funny. Funny fellas.
Last year was the year of health and security.
Boy, we have the worst healthcare system with lack of everything.
And we have no hospitals in St. Lucia that are functioning properly up to this current day. And we are at the end of March. And we have 22, possibly 23 deaths for the year, so far for the year. Homicides, that is, and last year was the year of health and security. So we should pay close attention to this. Nothing has been done to make healthcare better, and nothing has been done to make St. Lucia any more secure than St. Lucia has been since 2021.
Bunch of hypocrites.
And I say 2021, that's after Pierre came in and removed the dog. And left our borders completely open. And this year they say they have infrastructure, but guess what they did today? So today is Thursday prior to Easter. Tomorrow's a holiday. Sunday's a holiday, Monday's a holiday. People do their grocery shopping and stuff today. They closed so many areas, roads today, saying that they're working on them. You know, they're doing patching holes.
I heard there's no sugar and rice in St. Lucia. Is that true?
I saw sugar on the shelf earlier this week, but it was just about 5 bags. Like five pound bags in a supermarket. So if there's no sugar, no rice, I didn't finish the rice. I didn't need any, so I didn't even check that. I didn't want to go to the supermarket this weekend. But I'm telling you that they're so wicked. Of all times to do work for the Garfield on the road is this evening today. So they couldn't do the road works tomorrow and Sunday, which are holidays. And they closed so many roads that a lot of people did have access to their homes via public transportation. Is that government okay, Brother Garfield? With no notice, sir. No notice. Like you asked, where is the communications person from infrastructure, from Ministry of Infrastructure?
He used to be on the air every time there's road works talking. I don't hear him, I don't see him. And he used to be on the every live insulting people. I don't see him, I don't hear him.
Okay, well, there's road. They say there's road work at Bacatel. I heard there were no road works at Bacatel. They just closed the road, and there's a big hill that you need to climb, and people were climbing that with bags of groceries for stores, and there was no road works going on, and the roads are closed. The back roads, VST heading to the north and Moshi side and stuff was closed. A lot of the roads have been closed around St. Lucia because they claim one side of the road is blocked off because they claim they're doing roads every time there is a major holiday weekend. You don't lean on the holidays, when people are at home. You lean on the days when people are going to work, the days just before the holiday. The day when people are gotten paid and they're going shopping and they're trying to get home to their families. That's the day you're closing roads and trying to do road work.
Anyway, my friend, I really appreciate you calling now. As you know, I got to go now. Yes, thank you so much. Let me ask you before you go. What is going on with Bank of St. Lucia? Why are they on strike?
I'm hearing that it's because they are asking for certain things to be put in place and for their benefit, and it's not being done by management.
Oh, okay. So management, you all need to do what you all have to do for the people, all right?
So I think now they have done that today, and I think yesterday or whenever.
Okay.
That means those people were supposed to access funds for Easter highly likely could not.
Oh no, that's not good.
I was trying to use the cash machine today, a Bank of St. Lucia cash machine. It was closed out of order.
That's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
Saint-Lucia's not good. Not in a good place.
That's not good. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk again. I'm going to run now.
Yes.
I have one video to
Have a good
upload,
night.
and then yes, I have to spend some time with my daughter.
Right.
So blessings to you, and enjoy your Easter season. All right, folks. So I want to say a special good night to Sister Sylvia over there on YouTube and all the other folks. Blessings to you. I'll give you all an update, everybody an update as soon as the system is up. I was able to rig this one, but it's not going to last long. So we're going to get the system up and dedicated. We're still doing stuff. And I want to thank the other individual who donated a monitor. I will call the name at the appropriate time. An extra monitor that was needed also. So we are building the system, we are maintaining the system, and we're going to take off in grand style very soon. Blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for being here with us. We look forward to another beautiful program. Sunday, I don't want to interfere with your celebration in respect to the community that is celebrating the season. But I wish you all the best, and remember that let us place Christ in our hearts. Let us place him in our hearts, not only for a season, but let us place him there for eternity. Amen. And remember, the best friend to have is Jesus. The best friend to have. And falling in love with Jesus would be the best thing that you will ever do. Good night, folks. Bonsoir.
Let's get to work. Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work. Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield.